Hello, these are calculators. These are very small, like, cell phone pockets. We're specifically reviewing this one. But I brought this one for comparison. Because we got this one about a year ago. I barely used it. And then I did start using it. But then just started to fall apart. And you'll see that they are basically... This is basically the updated version of this calculator. So this calculator, after not using it for like a year... Oh, there's a box over there. 1 second. Yeah, here's the box it came in. It not too terribly super impressive, but it's a box. Hi, cat. This is suboptimal. Okay, thank you. Please get on my light. Okay, so I got this calculator about a year ago. Or
year and a half ago.
I didn't use it for basically a year, and then I started like needing it for school and stuff. And this was so cool. It's like a tiny boogie board that's the perfect size for like carrying around in your pocket or a bag. And you just pull it out, write stuff down, and it feels much safer than a boogie board because it has like, you know, if you've ever had a boogie board, you know they are like extremely thin. But this, you know, has sturdiness to it, and you know, also comes with a calculator. So, but then it started to like have problems. You can see that like barely touching it over here like causes a bright line that like is noticeable and like fizzes and gets weird. That it's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to do that right there. So, got new one. This new one, first impression, I love the buttons. Like, oh, these buttons, they're squishy and not very satisfying, but these buttons, oh, I can press them for hours. But one thing I could not press for hours is the case. The original one had a very, like, you know, soft outside case thing. You know, you could pet it, but you probably wouldn't because that would be weird. This one, I don't want to touch that case with a 20-foot pole. Like, listen. Ugh. It's like one of those, like, 3D picture things, but it's just black. Also, like, it's already started to, like, look gross. As opposed to this one, which it's, despite being a brighter color, is not as noticeable being gross. For some reason. I don't know. Another thing I don't like about this one is, I'm saying a lot of things I don't like, but ultimately I do like this one better. But, like, this is just tiny nitpicks, but the pin, it's like in a little sleeve here that you have to pull out. Like, you see that, right? This one over here, it's kind of awkward doing this with one hand. How do I do this with one hand? What am I doing with my life? So you can see that this one, all you have to do is like barely pull it on the side, and boom, you got it. Now, I'm actually debating this one, like, because on one hand, it's a lot harder to pull out, but on the other hand, it's a lot harder to lose it. I have not lost this pin yet. Well, I have lost this one several times before. But I do like the old pin design better. It's more substantial. It just feels better. But this one has some new features. Like, for example, solar panel. Which, on one hand, is pretty good, but on the other hand, I've, like, charged this once since I started using it about half a year ago. It is surprisingly persistent. Well, and this one, I haven't felt the need to charge at all because the solar panel's just been doing all the work, so, you know, this plug down here is basically useless. It also has, like, a lock if you don't want the eraser. So, yeah, this one, let me go ahead. Yeah, you can see it works pretty well. This button erases it, as did this one. It also has a few levers, and I'm honestly kind of afraid to press some of these levers because, like, I don't know. Can you focus, camera? Camera, focus. Shh. Okay, there we go. Yeah. It has a place value. So, like, right now, if I were to say 3 divided by 3 and enter... wait, no. 1 divided by 3, we get this. But if I now use one of these switches, so let's put it at 3, which is 3 decimal places. If we now do 1 divided by 3, you see, we only get 3 decimal places. So yeah, this is pretty cool to see. I think it rounds as well. So if we were to do 2 divided by 3, yeah, it rounds. I'm not sure what this blast setting does, and I have no idea what this other lever does. So I've just not touched it. Another cool thing I like about this one is it shows you what you're doing, like in the corner. This one never did that. If I did like 1 times, nothing shows up. But here, you know, you always have like a little reminder to remind you what in Sam Hill you're doing. Which is always good. So yeah, ultimately, I do like this calculator better. It's sleeker, has a nicer design. There's just a few tiny little things like if you hate this texture like I do, debate it. Like, I hate this texture.